Hi, everyone. I'm Jacob. I'm a machine learning engineer and developer evangelist at FiftyOne. And today I'm going to be telling you about a plugin that allows you to put in an audio clip and retrieve images that match that audio clip. For those of you who don't know, FiftyOne is the leading open source data curation and visualization toolset for computer vision. And FiftyOne plugins are a framework that allows you to make FiftyOne more extensible and customizable for your particular workflows. For the past 10 weeks, we've been on a 10 weeks of plugins journey. Every week, we're coming at you with a new plugin or multiple that cover different workflows and different types of things you may want to do with FiftyOne that are now possible with the plugin system. And a bunch of these plugins have been related to some type of vector search or embeddings in some way. And this one, which is actually a bonus plugin, is coming at you as well in that vector search related embeddings vein. So as I mentioned, this plugin is a plugin that takes audio in and it allows you to search for images that match that audio. So here, what we've done is we've created a panel that allows you to select an audio clip. So I can select, for instance, a clip of birds chirping. And then we can see a preview of that and actually play that. And then you can search. And in a second, I'll explain what's going on. So what this is doing is it's generating an embedding for the audio clip. And we've already pre-computed embeddings for the images in this data set just to make our lives easier. I have done that offline. And then we have a vector index, in this case, a quadrant vector index that uses these embeddings from the images and the audio and finds the most similar embeddings to the audio clip in our vector index of image embeddings. Now, why is this allowed? Why is this possible? Well, this is possible because of a model that came out from Meta AI earlier this month or earlier this year called ImageBind. And ImageBind is a way to link AI across multiple senses or modalities. So if you've seen CLIP, contrastive language image pre-training from OpenAI, you're probably aware that you can embed text and images into the same latent space, into the same embedding space, so that you can compare them conceptually in somewhat apples to apples fashion. ImageBind from Meta took this a step further, and they embedded 6 different modalities. So it was images, text, depth, heat maps, audio, and IMU, or inertial measurement unit. And what we're doing in this plugin is we're using Replicate. So for those of you who don't know, Replicate is a, a basically a platform that allows you to call via API endpoints or inference endpoints different models, and they've got a bunch of different models in different collections. So here there's a bunch of collections for audio generation, diffusion models, image editing, a bunch of other things. And one of these collections is embedding models, and they have ImageBind. Now, this is only one particular one of the model checkpoints for ImageBind. There are multiple checkpoints if you actually are going to download and install ImageBind locally. But just to make life easier for the sake of this plugin, we are using this endpoint. And the plugin is implemented by calling that replicate inference endpoint for ImageBind. And it also uses a quadrant vector database. So the way that it works is if I go into the Python script right here, this is some code that allows to basically convert between the way that FiftyOne represents samples and the way that quadrant represents or identifies samples. We can embed an image by passing in this modality equals vision, or modality is vision as one of those parameters here. And then if we wanted to embed audio, you do that down here. We actually pass in modality audio. So we generate the ImageBind index by basically looping over all of the samples in our data set. And either if we have the embeddings already, we can just add those embeddings to this index, or we can compute the embeddings from scratch by calling the replicate endpoint for this particular model. And we do this in batches, and you can choose to delegate the execution of this or not. So FiftyOne plugins come with a delegated execution mode. So we call them delegated operators, where you can decide whether you want the computations or the operations to happen in real time, or to delegate them to happen at some later time, and you can queue those jobs and launch them either from the same machine or from another machine. It's super flexible. So you can decide whether you want this to happen in real time or you want to happen offline. And once you've generated this index, then you can run your audio image search. So you might hear this called multiple things: audio to image, cross-modal search, cross-modal retrieval, audio search. It has a bunch of names. So let's just look at a different example here. So we can look at, for instance, a dog barking. So let me refresh and look at a dog barking. We'll play that clip. And let's search. So again, it is taking the audio, and in real time, it is going to pass that to the .wav file to replicate, and it will use that, and it will generate an embedding, and it will pass the embedding back to us, which we will use to query the quadrant vector index. So now, even though it had a dog barking, if you actually listen to the sound, the dominant feature is maybe it's the dog barking, but maybe it's the echoey nature of that sound. So that is what is being picked up on by ImageBind. Let's try one more. So if we do a train, let's do a train. This is a train chugging and whatever other sounds a train makes. And now we're going to take the audio and we're going to pass it in, and we generate the embedding, and then we get the images that most resemble that. And you can modify this number of results you want. This is just the basically the k factor, the k parameter that's passed into the quadrant vector index. But you can choose whatever number you want here. And this is just one example of what you can do with cross-modal retrieval and multimodal data in FiftyOne. You could also extend this to work with text or depth or IMU data, whatever. I just wanted to do this as a proof of concept to show you that it is possible to work with audio and different modalities in FiftyOne. So you may think about visual data as just images, videos, and point clouds, but there's actually so much more that you can do. Visual data is almost all data in some sense. It's just you need to be able to represent or visualize it properly. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this plugin, then you should check out some of the other vector search related plugins that we have, including reverse image search, concept interpolation, and concept space traversal. Thanks so much.